before he was the greatest of all time. He was just a boy from Rosario with a dream, and a medical condition that nearly ended it before it began. He didn't look like a footballer. He was too small, too quiet, too humble. But he had something the world couldn't measure: vision, genius, and a fire that never went out. This is the rise of Lionel Messi, the boy who defied biology, expectations, and history itself to become a legend. Lionel Messi's talent was never in question. At just 8 years old, he was already dazzling defenders at Newell's Old Boys, leaving crowds in awe. They called his youth team La Máquina del 87, the machine of 87, because they were almost unbeatable. But by age 11, Messi faced a challenge bigger than any opponent on the pitch: a growth hormone deficiency. His family couldn't afford the expensive treatment, and local clubs in Argentina, even giants like River Plate, admired his talent, but hesitated to commit to the costs. Then came a twist of fate. Through connections and tape recordings, word reached FC Barcelona, and a trial was arranged in Spain. The boy barely spoke. He was small, quiet, almost invisible, until he touched the ball. Within minutes, the coaches knew, this kid is special. Legend has it that Messi's first Barcelona contract was signed on a napkin because the scouts didn't want to waste another second. The club agreed to pay for his treatment, and just like that, at age 13, Lionel Messi left his home, friends, and country behind, chasing a dream halfway across the world. At La Masia, Barca's famed youth academy, Messi developed rapidly, mastering not just the physical side of the game, but the Barcelona philosophy. By age 16, he was playing with Barcelona B, tearing through defenses in the Spanish third division. His control, acceleration, and dribbling were so advanced, coaches couldn't believe what they were seeing. Then came October 16, 2004, the day everything changed. At just 17 years old, Messi made his first team debut under Rijkaard, coming on as a substitute against Espanyol. He was still a teenager, still small, but you could feel it. Something historic had just begun. A few months later, he would score his first senior goal after a brilliant assist from Ronaldinho, the old master passing the torch to the new. The Camp Nou erupted, and the world began to take notice. Under Rijkaard, Messi slowly began to earn his place. At first, he was just the quiet teenager playing next to Ronaldinho, Eto'o, and Deco, but it didn't take long for teammates and fans to realize. He wasn't just another young talent, he was different. By the 2006-07 season, Messi was no longer on the bench. He was slicing through defenses, scoring brilliant solo goals, and causing chaos with every touch. His iconic goal against Getafe, where he ran from his own half, beating 6 defenders, felt like a replay of Maradona's 1986 World Cup wonder. He had arrived, but this was only the beginning. When Pep Guardiola took over in 2008, everything changed, not just for Barcelona, but for Messi himself. Pep didn't just see a winger or a dribbler. He saw a brain, a playmaker, a total footballer. Pep moved Messi to the center, creating the false nine role, a tactical revolution that would transform modern football. Messi wasn't just scoring goals anymore. He was dictating play, creating space, and dragging entire defenses out of position. And in this system, he thrived like never before. The result? The 2008-09 season, one of the greatest individual seasons in football history. Messi led Barcelona to a historic treble: La Liga, Copa del Rey, and the UEFA Champions League. In the final, against Manchester United, he scored a rare header, despite being the shortest player on the pitch, sealing a 2-0 win. His celebration, holding his boot with pure joy, became iconic. At just 21, Messi wasn't a rising star anymore. He was the best player in the world. And under Guardiola, he would go on to reach levels the game had never seen before. Between 2009 and 2012, Lionel Messi wasn't just winning Ballon d'Ors, he was dominating football in a way never seen before. For in a row, back-to-back, under Pep Guardiola, he became the centerpiece of a footballing machine that played with surgical precision. And yet, it was Messi's magic that made the difference. He didn't just score goals, he scored impossible goals. He created from nothing. His left foot became a weapon no defense could stop. And in 2012, he broke a record that many thought would stand forever: 91 goals in a single calendar year. Think about that. More goals in 1 year than some strikers score in their careers. It wasn't just greatness. It was mythology in real time. After Guardiola's exit, Barcelona changed, and so did Messi. Under Luis Enrique, he formed one of the deadliest attacking trios football has ever seen. Blue circle Messi, red circle Suarez, yellow circle Neymar. The world called them MSN. Each brought their own brilliance, but Messi remained the conductor, the brain, the spark. In 2015, they ripped through Europe, scoring for fun and humiliating defenders. Barcelona won another Champions League, another La Liga, another treble. They didn't just win. They destroyed. And once again, Messi stood at the top, proving he could adapt, evolve, and dominate in any system, with any teammate. But while Messi was rewriting history with Barcelona, his story with Argentina was far more complicated. In his own country, he was often criticized, compared endlessly to Maradona, judged by trophies he hadn't yet won. He came so close, time and time again. 2014 World Cup Final. Lost to Germany in extra time. Copa America 2015. Lost on penalties to Chile. Copa America 2016. Lost to Chile again, on penalties again. After the third heartbreak, Messi, tired, broken, emotionally drained, shocked the world. I've done all I can. It hurts not to be a champion. It's over for me with the national team. Argentina wept. The world held its breath. The greatest player of all time might never wear the blue and white again. As Messi continued to break records, Barcelona began to break down. In 2018, the team seemed unstoppable until that night in Rome. After winning the first leg 4-1 against Roma, Barca collapsed in the second leg, losing 3-0. The following year, it happened again. Barcelona 3, Liverpool 0 in the first leg. But at Anfield, with no Salah, no Firmino, Liverpool produced one of the greatest comebacks in Champions League history. 4-0. Messi was left stunned, again. The dream was shattered. These weren't just losses. These were scars. And Barcelona, once Europe's most feared side, was no longer the same. But just when the world thought Messi might finish his career without an international trophy, everything changed. He returned to the national team, not just as a player, but as a leader. Older, wiser, fiercer. And in 2021, in Brazil's backyard, Messi finally did it. Argentina won the Copa America, beating Brazil in the final. He dropped to his knees in tears. His teammates hoisted him into the air. It wasn't just a victory. It was a relief. For him, for Argentina, for football itself. But he wasn't done. In 2022, on the biggest stage of all, the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, Messi played like a man possessed. Goals, assists, leadership, fire. He carried Argentina to the final. And in what many call the greatest World Cup final ever, Messi scored twice against France and won it all in penalties. The World Cup, the final jewel in his crown. At last, there were no more debates. No more comparisons. Messi had conquered everything. After over 20 years in Catalonia, Messi left Barcelona in 2021, not by choice, but because the club could no longer afford him. His move to PSG was shocking. A new league, a new environment, new expectations. And while he won titles, many felt the magic wasn't the same. The system never quite fit him. But the World Cup changed everything. After 2022, Messi had nothing left to prove. In 2023, he shocked the world again by joining Inter Miami in the MLS. People said he was retiring early, chasing comfort. But then he played. Goals, free kicks, assists, a Leagues Cup title. He turned a struggling team into a winning machine. And most importantly, he brought joy back to the game, to himself, and to the millions who still watched him with wonder. Even at 36, Messi didn't slow down. He just rewrote the rules once more. From Rosario's dusty streets to football's highest throne. From heartbreaks to historic triumphs. From too small to make it to the undisputed GOAT. This isn't just a story about football. This is the story of Lionel Messi, a once-in-a-lifetime player whose rise will be remembered forever.